Greetings, entertainment lovers. Well, it looks like there's only 2 more Avatar sequels planned than there are episodes left in our season. And we can guarantee to supply more entertainment in 1 hour of content than James Cameron will in 8.
We've got Rob White with Hollywood Headlines, Dylan Bateson with a trailer watch, and a whole lot more. So prepare your weird ponytails because from Ball State University, The Real Deal starts now.
Hello and welcome to The Real Deal, Ball State's one and only entertainment news show. I'm Aiden Hall.
And I'm Logan Sowash.
Wait, Logan, something feels off.
Why's that?
It's as if a million entertainment reporters cried out and were silenced.
Well, I think that maybe because this Hollywood Headlines has a sports-related story in it.
What are sporots?
I'll explain it to you during the break.
Oh, so it's an inappropriate thing.
No, not really. Anyway, here with the latest in Hollywood Headlines is Rob White. Rob?
NBA legend Kobe Bryant played his final game in his career last Wednesday, April 13th, a night that will surely be remembered by all. Although Bryant may not be a movie star or musician, you cannot deny that the Black Mamba has been entertaining sports fans for more than 20 years, and has reached somewhat of a celebrity status in today's culture. Though I suppose he did have that song with Tyra Banks on the hook, so I guess it makes him qualified to be talked about here. During his final game, Kobe gave it his all and dropped 60 points, leading the Lakers to a 109-96 victory over the Utah Jazz. He later gave an emotional speech before stepping off the court for the last time. Celebrities such as Kim Kardashian, Justin Bieber, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, and his former teammates all congratulated Kobe through social media and videos displayed after the game. It is no doubt that he will be remembered as one of the greatest athletes of all time, and he will definitely be missed. Next up, Disney's live-action remake of the 1967 hit The Jungle Book premiered last weekend and broke some records as well. It became the second biggest April opening ever at the U.S. box office, making roughly $103 million in its first weekend. Many people took to Twitter to express their feelings about the movie, and for the most part, audiences were not disappointed. The film also boasts a star-studded cast including Idris Elba, Bill Murray, Scarlett Johansson, and Ben Kingsley, all lending their voices to the characters on screen. Director Jon Favreau, who was also responsible for directing other successful films such as the first 2 Iron Man movies, Elf and Chef, was praised for making the movie as close to the original story as possible, while also creating stunning visuals to tell the story most people grew up on in a whole new way. Having not seen the film myself, I will definitely be going to see what this movie has in store for me. Lastly, over the past few months, many people have been watching FX's new hit show, American Crime Story: The People vs. O.J. Simpson, to relive the madness that took place between the former NFL player and the murder allegations that he faced in the early 90s. As the series came to a close, the final ratings showed that the program was officially the most watched news series of 2016 so far, earning an average of 12.6 million viewers. The show includes the acting talents of Cuba Gooding Jr., John Travolta, Bruce Greenwood, and David Schwimmer. The show's executive producer, Ryan Murphy, wanted to tell the audience things that may not have known during the trial, while at the same time being as historically accurate as possible. Due to the show's success, it's obvious that he succeeded. That's all I have for this week's Hollywood Headlines. Until next time, I'm Rob White.
Thanks, Rob. I'm sure many television connoisseurs who haven't watched American Crime Story will want to turn to the show faster than the media turned on Marcia Clark when she got her perm.
Well, I can't say you're wrong there. Stick around, we've got Hannah Pulver, Dylan Bateson, and a whole lot more.
Mr. Presley, we're going to have to go over the protocols.
Mr. President, Mr. Elvis Presley.
On the coffee table is a dish with M&Ms. Those are only for the president.
M&Ms are my favorite.
Mine too.
There is also an unopened bottle of Dr. Pepper.
You have a bottle opener?
Please do not open it. Please do not drink from it because it's only for the president.
What in the good God is going on?
I don't know, sir.
Give a little love. Make sure that we get a picture with Mr. Presley and me.
Go on and do it.
You and me, we rose from nothing. But look where I am today, and look where you are.
Give a little love. Ha! Go on and do it.
That's how I learned to develop these knuckles of steel. Now slap them.
Come on, harder. Harder. Let it out. Let it out.
Those are the steel claws of a tiger, Mr. President.
Give a little love. Give a little love.
Just say something. With the mirror's magic, I'll rule the world.
That mirror's an evil and dangerous thing. We have to destroy it.
Together.
gonna do? Be the hero who defeats the mirror and saves the entire kingdom?
I pretty much.
Are you ready, Huntsman?
Aye.
I'm stronger than all of you.
Shall we find out?
Wait, I still don't understand first downs. You can get tackled 3 times and still get one? That's a miracle.
We're back on the air, Aiden.
Right. Welcome back, everyone. Now, Logan, name one film where Ice Cube yells at people.
Oh, that's kind of tough. Boys in the Hood?
Think lighter.
Are we there yet?
Closer.
Oh, Hurt Locker.
That's Anthony Mackie. I'm talking about Barbershop.
Of course. How could I forget that? I mean, there's been 3 movies in the series so far, counting Beauty Shop.
Here to review the latest entry in the Barbershop cinematic universe is Hannah Pulver. Hannah?
I swear, there is just something so magical about going to a movie theater. In the days of Netflix, Hulu, and illegally downloading for some, a night out to see a big film on the screen is a rare activity. Lucky for me, this past weekend I went to the movies to see Barbershop: The Next Cut. Why I chose this movie? I don't know. I'm out $20 and feel like I could have changed the world with the extra 2 hours I spent there. The movie had many great messages. Matter of fact, that was all it was. If you take almost every issue in the US right now and shove it all into a movie, this would be it. Barbershop touched on gender inequality, political injustice, gang wars, violence, racism, infidelity, and much more. These messages are very important, and I don't deny that. I thought it was a great way to spread more awareness about the issues that are being faced every day without the notice of news and things like that. However, I didn't really enjoy the movie. First off, the only reason I went to go see this movie was because I saw Ice Cube on Ellen. And when I see someone on Ellen, I have to follow through with that lead. Second, I thought this was a sequel to the movie Beauty Shop with Queen Latifah in it, and I loved that movie. And until 2 hours after Barbershop, I realized they were completely different movies, so that's pretty embarrassing. The only character I liked was Winston from New Girl, but of course he wasn't Winston. There were some funny characters and moments, but overall I felt meh about the cast and their acting. Nicki Minaj, I just can't deal with you. If I were a hardcore critic, I would give this film a 2 out of 5. The messages were great and needed, but there was just too much and not enough going on at the same time. I know that doesn't make sense, but I don't know how else to explain it. The setting was the barbershop 97% of the time, which I guess I should have expected, but still. Near the end of the movie, I was thinking, it's time to cut it out. Pun intended. Heck, the only time I laughed was in the previews for upcoming movies. And I actually cried at a preview for Keanu, a new movie featuring Key and Peele, and the most adorable cat you ever did see. I just really love cats. Oh gosh, anyway, I hope you save time and money by skipping this movie. And until next time, I'm Hannah Pulver.
Thanks, Hannah. Still sounds more enjoyable than the upcoming Hanna-Barbera Cinematic Universe.
Or the upcoming Universal Monster Cinematic Universe.
Or the DC Extended Universe. Low-key looking forward to Batfleck's first feature-length solo film, though.
Agreed. Speaking of cinematic universes and the cynical, never-ending parade of Hollywood sequels designed to scuba dive into your wallet, we've got Dylan Bateson on hand to review some of the Indie series' latest trailers. Dylan?
If Marvel fans weren't already going crazy over Captain America: Civil War, they have something else to look forward to at the end of this year. Marvel released a trailer for Doctor Strange, which follows a brilliant yet egotistical surgeon who gets into a terrible car accident and loses the ability to control his hands. This causes him to go on a desperate search to restore the ability to control his hands. This is what the majority of the trailer is. All seems hopeless for Doctor Strange until he runs into a group of magic users that completely destroys his perception of reality, and thus sets up for the rest of the movie with magic, demons, and other mystical mumbo-jumbo, which is set out to come out November this year. And just so you don't get lost in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, DC reminds you that they have movies coming out too. DC released another Suicide Squad trailer. This trailer had a few new surprises with a decent amount of the Joker and a surprising amount of the Batman himself, as well as other scenes that weren't shown recently in trailers past. This trailer followed the same formula as the previous trailers, with a popular 1970s song thrown in a bit of action, and then boom! You got yourself an action movie trailer. This trailer had very little in terms of new content, but still exciting for this movie, which comes out August 5th. Now that all that superhero nonsense is out of the way, let's talk about something that really matters. Game of Thrones. HBO released a trailer for the 6th season of their hit TV series. This trailer shows that what veteran fans have already known. Everything is slowly descending into madness, and everyone is too busy to deal with the real threat, which of course is walking ice people in the army of the undead. In terms of actual details, nothing is known about what will happen this season, besides the resolution of conflicts that happened in Season 5. Season 6 is going to be released this week, April 24th, and I, as well as many other fans, will watch it any way we can. I'm Dylan Bateson, signing off.
Thanks, Dylan. Sounds like Game of Thrones conspiracy theorists will soon find out if their R plus L does in fact equal Sty.
That theory definitely does go something like that.
Sounds like the only living dummy I care about is this TV season is Hodor.
That was mean, Aiden.
So you still have feelings after watching Game of Thrones? Adorable.
Well, I suppose we'll be right back. Stay tuned. We've got Madison McGill, Angela Ariema, and more.
Thanks for sticking with us. There's a song on that radio that's going to be stuck in our heads for a good while. Perhaps even for 7 years? In other news, my producers are booing me from the control room.
Indeed, Lucas Graham has been taking over the airwaves as of late with his gentle, soulful tunes capturing the hearts of many.
My producers are now telling me they'll cut off another toe and feed it to Brandon, our head writer, if I don't stop making jokes.
Here to review Lucas Graham's latest album is Madison McGill. Madison?
Lucas Graham recently released their self-titled album, and it's quickly making its way up the charts. And while it took a while for their hit single 7 Years to grow on me, the album has become a quick favorite. It combines old and new style soul, giving fans a different listening experience than other artists on the hit charts. The album itself gives a personal look into lead singer Lucas Graham's life, pulling experiences like losing his father and growing up. Songs like Happy Home and Better Than Yourself, Criminal Minds Part 2, play like a story reflecting on the singer's memories and past. Happy Home builds with an upbeat tempo and pulls more towards the pop genre, using more electronic sounds with underlying piano, while Better Than Yourself plays as a soulful piano ballad building into a powerhouse song about someone he had to leave behind because of their criminal past. Then there are songs like Drunk in the Morning and Don't You Worry About Me that add a bit of a funk and swing with horns and bass to the album. Drunk in the Morning reminds me of something Maroon 5 might produce on one of their albums, along with Don't Worry About Me. They're both upbeat, welcome songs compared to the more somber, nostalgic tracks. There's also the song Strip No More, which has an Amy Winehouse Valerie feel to it, and in general, it's just an upbeat, feel-good track. While they might have pulled from a lot of different influence, the one song I wasn't a fan of was Mama Said. When it first started, I instantly thought I was listening to Hard Knock Life from Annie, with just different words to the same tune. And instead of them singing about how hard life was being an orphan, they were singing about the opposite and how Mama said that it was okay because they were good kids. While it's an interesting track, I think it resembles Annie too much to be original. The end track of the album has to be one of my favorites, as he sings about his own funeral. I found it fitting because they started with 7 years, which reflects on childhood and the start of life and going through it. Then they end the story with a funeral and the end of life. Now, it isn't some down in the dumps track. It's a gospel, soulful track that celebrates life. And while the album had some hits and misses, it's definitely an album to check out. The album itself is like listening to a story, which I find really intriguing. Graham tells listeners his tale of family tragedy, the ups and downs, and also the tale of celebrating life. I'm Madison McGill, and I messed up my ending.
We'll cut that last bit.
I got tongue-tied.
That's okay.
Good job.
Good job. Thanks, Madison. We've now got Angela Ariema on hand to talk about TV shows that have gone on too long, and shockingly, Aiden's jokes did make the list.
That eggnog IV is still hooked up to me under the desk.
I was at that episode taping. I don't even remember the joke.
Anyways, here's to talk about TV shows that have outlived their welcome is Angelo Ariema. Angelo?
So, at long last, after approximately 250 seasons, American Idol has come to a close. Now, while this show has helped some exceptionally talented people find their start, that does not give it an excuse to have gone on for as long as it did. For starters, who is Candace Glover? How about Caleb Johnson? And then there's everyone's favorite, Nick Fradiani. To be blunt, these winners are about as close to being American Idols as I am to being a Cheetah Girl. Nonetheless, American Idol is not the only show that has gone on for far too long. In fact, in this week's top 5, I will name 4 others that shared the exact same fate. Next on that list is none other than everyone's favorite serial killer, Dexter. I will admit the Showtime thriller's first 4 seasons were some of the best TV I've ever seen, but unfortunately the writers of that show apparently agreed with me. While I enjoyed the capers of the titular character for the first half of the series run, the fact that each and every season shared the exact same storyline with the exact same arc really resulted in a sour taste in my mouth at its late, unsatisfying conclusion. Speaking of cold-blooded killers, let's now turn our attention to Glee. Now, their rendition of Journey's Don't Stop Believin' may be a toe tapper, but there are only so many songs that the cast of Glee could ruin before it began to get old. In addition to that, I can only pretend to care about these 27-year-old high schoolers' romances for too long before I start to feel a bit creepy. So jazz squeeze yourself into the corner, Glee, and good riddance. Next up, we have Castle, a show in which, at its high point, is actually very enjoyable. The sticking point here is that when taking a weekly crime procedural and complicating it with on and off romances, you're dealing with a ticking time bomb. At the end of last season, the show ended on a note that wrapped up the story in a neat little bow, only for them to unnecessarily keep it going in the hopes of raking in more money the following fall. It is no mystery who the killer of your show is, Castle. It's your writers. Finally, the honorary champion of going on for too long is awarded to The Simpsons. For a show that has gone on for more than 20 years, I don't really feel the need to even scrounge together details as to why it should come to a close. Matt Groening's comedy of yellow people hasn't made anyone laugh since people were nervous about Y2K. It is a shining example of quality over quantity, as what once was a brilliant show is now mocked for existing against popular demand. As a whole, The Simpsons is kind of like that purple ketchup from the 90s. It was cool and kind of edgy at first, but after the same bland taste in your mouth, you just wanted it to go away. So before I overstay my welcome, let me say that this has been this week's Top 5. I'm Angelo Oriema.
Thanks, Angelo. Wow, between Dexter and Glee, the killer that I'm the most scared of is Leah Michelle's vocal talent.
Really?
No, it's Leah Michelle's capacity for murder that I'm most afraid of. Her Instagram is too squeaky clean, Logan.
Stay tuned for our final word.
Too clean.
No. I'm the one who brought him to you, and now I'll return him to where he belongs.
I won't let you. He's my cub.
We knew this day would come.
We are the only family he's ever known.
Raksha. It's the only place he'll be safe.
It's okay, Ami. It won't go far. I'll come back and visit.
So, you playing Celebrity Bob and I'm Mr. Mom now?
You're the one who said you wanted to spend more time with Maya and Kenny, so what's the problem?
Sometime. Half your clients was mine to start.
Oh, you complaining now? When Kenny's mom asked if he can spend the remainder of high school with us, I was cool with it. But since he's been with us, he's done nothing to help out.
Yeah, come on now.
It's like we have 2 toddlers in the house.
It's a new situation.
It's not
no,
a new
it is
situation.
a new situation.
It's been a
taking
year.
them
You
time.
being
You
too
know how long
soft
he
on
was his
him.
mother?
I understand that.
All right, y'all.
Y'all
Yo,
too
Rashad. Yo, do y'all need a minute? Because we'll all leave.
You know what? I'm going to leave. It's like love and hip-hop reunion in here.
A bed inside a sofa. That's neat.
Well, it's old, but it's comfortable, so.
Thank you, Claire.
Good night, Michelle.
Well, that's not so bad.
Oh, God! Oh, God!
Next time they shine your light in the sky, don't go to it. The bat is dead. Bury it. Consider this mercy.
have to do this the hard way.
Did you just boot my stroller?
Nicholas Wilde, you are under arrest.
For what? Hurting your feelings?
Felony tax evasion. Yeah, $200 a day, 365 days a year. Since you were 12, that's 2 decades, so times 20, which is 1,460,000, I think. I mean, I am just a dumb bunny, but we are good at multiplying.
For my final word, I want to discuss Scarlett Johansson, acclaimed actor, Avenger. She's in that one movie with those people about the Thing. Nah, I'm just kidding. I want to talk about whitewashing. Recently, old ScarJo had a picture released of her as Motoko Kusanagi in next year's Ghost in the Shell movie. Now, I know, Motoko Kusanagi is the most American name, right next to my great-grandfather, Sakamoto Javier Bardem Fujimoto Hall. Good all-American names of good all-American people. But when it comes to adaptations of very obviously not American and most importantly, not white productions, it's not okay to make it white. There are plenty of successful Asian actors, and yet studios have even thought about giving her visual effects much akin to Yellowface to make her fit into the role better. You know why Mickey Rooney's Rent Lord Asian Yellowface was a great idea? It wasn't a great idea. It was a horrible idea. It was something that some people at the time found hilarious. Emphasis on some. And I can only hope they're no longer the vocal majority. So why is it okay to take a story about a technologically advanced Japan and a hacker that's an overinflated Catcher in the Rye quote and turn it into an overglorified Blade Runner knockoff? Whether it's Dragon Ball, The Last Airbender, or even Old Boy, we feel a weird necessity to insert a white character into the main role. And some can say that it's to make these movies sell. But the question is to who? Fans of the Source series hate the movies. Fans of movies hate whitewashing. So who are they appealing to? Trump supporters? These aren't movies that we want to exist, and yet they still do. As future filmmakers and people that love film, we can't continue this trend. So, should you make some content, ask yourself, would it be better with yellow-faced Mickey Rooney? If you can answer yes, don't make it. Hashtag make Mickey Rooney for better Filmooney.
On the other side of the spectrum, I want to talk about how important it is to stay with the feel and essence of a character. For the last week or two, I've been hearing and seeing complaints about the lack of Asian representation in the 2 upcoming Marvel properties, Netflix's Iron Fist and Doctor Strange. I've heard people say that it's horrible that they cast a white man as the lead in Iron Fist, and that it's horrible that they took the Ancient One, a character known to be Asian, and gave it to a white woman. However, if you know both characters, the casting choices aren't horrible. In fact, they're either spot on or really interesting. If you don't know about Iron Fist, which wouldn't be surprising because Iron Fist isn't exactly Spider-Man, Iron Fist is actually a privileged white boy who has a family legacy attached to a profitable American business company and a mystical realm. So yeah, it's not whitewashing if you cast someone that fits that description. As for Tilda Swinton being cast as the Ancient One, I consider this a better choice than trying to go for a classic Ancient One, as casting and writing a character like that could get you way too close to Mickey Rooney Yellowface territory, which is something you don't want in 2016, as Aiden has already said. Plus, Swinton is a great actress that gives the character a mystical look, while also amping up gender diversity of the film without getting close to racy waters. It's a win-win. I'm defending these choices because I think people are getting a little overzealous about whitewashing in modern culture. People are too easy to jump at that chance to complain about something they really don't understand. Heck, I'll be honest, I originally thought Iron Fist was supposed to be Asian until I Google searched his name, looked at a quick synopsis of the character, and thought to myself, oh, I was wrong. Why can't more people do this? I totally agree that there is some whitewashing on today, and that minority representation in media is far lower than Caucasian representation. However, it's starting to get to the point where a lot of people are just throwing that term around to seem intelligent and say, hey guys, I'm totally connected to pulp culture right now. Next time you decide to go on a tirade or something, do your research before making that comment. In terms of a casting of a character that is already established, we need to focus more on whether or not the actor chosen for the role has the essence of the character rather than whether or not it should be played by a minority. That being said, definitely get mad about that whole ScarJo VFX Asian nonsense. That is just disappointingly ridiculous. Hashtag, just don't do Ghost in the Shell live action. Come on.
It's a solid hashtag.
I know, right?
And that wraps up our show for this week. Be sure to check out our website, Facebook, and Twitter pages for news and updates on all things entertainment. I'm Aiden Hall.
And I'm Logan Sowat. We'll see you next time.